Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Demonplague. I am James Introcaso. I go by he, him. I am the dungeon master and one of the authors of this adventure. Why don't we go around the table since it's our second episode? Let people know who you are and who you're playing in the Demonplague. Rudy, let's start with you.
Hi, my name is Rudy Basso, also he, him. I am playing Rain Bowie, a human monk who once was a hermit, but his shack in the woods was flooded by the temperature changes in the Demon Plague as a result of the Demon Plague, and now he is a wandering adventurer. Currently, we're going to attack a fort that has a wight in it. As the leader, maybe? I don't know. There's a bunch of people there. We're going to go punch them, or at least that's what I'm planning on doing. Yeah, that's about it. Cool.
Awesome. And TK, who are you and who are you playing?
I am TK, they, them, and I am playing Isabel Halfback, a half-orc fighter. She's a retired town guard, and she decided to take on this one mission because, frankly, she's a little bored. She's become the town matchmaker, and she's ready to go kick some butt that might be considerably out of her league.
Awesome. Yes, I'm very excited to have Isabel with us. And Lauren, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Lauren. I go by Oba Crazy, she, her. I am playing Rock, who is an Aarakocra rogue, who is in all of this because she pokes her nose into everybody's business and wants to help, definitely wants to help, but is hoping to help people. And who knows what's going to happen next, because she also kind of acts before she thinks. So this could be fun.
Yes, absolutely. And finally, last but not least, Robert Adducci. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Robert. I go by he, him. I'm playing Torsten Alehand. He is a human wizard. He is a native of the valley here, and he's the youngest of the group, like most likely, and he is just realizing that he needs to sort of step up and really help the people of this community overcome all of these issues that are popping up. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, it's great to have all of you. Real quick before we get started, I want to let people know that whenever somebody rolls a natural 20, we are going to take a note of it, and then at the end we'll do a giveaway. This week, the first natural 20 rolled will result in a giveaway of a PDF of the Demon Plague adventure. That's all 1 through 20 levels of adventure that we are playing through on this stream. Subsequent 20s will result in free PDF copies of Stellar of Death, my DM's Guild adventure. So get excited and stick around for that. Now, last time on the Demon Plague, we learned that the Luna Valley, which is this valley north of the spine of the world, was struck by a comet. Every settlement in the valley was washed away when the comet caused this big melt of mud and ice and earthquakes, and only Tomar's Crossing, a small town of about 150 people that was built on a mountain that poked through the glacier, survived. These refugees from all these other settlements have gathered outside of Tomar's Crossing, and now the whole town is short on food and resources. Not to mention there's problems with bandits and monsters who have been taking advantage of this situation. You were approached by Bajalin Viadas, who is the head of the village council. And he asked you to go to Fort Frostfell and take care of the Barrel Harb goblins that had taken up residence there, and free any prisoners and get any supplies that had been taken along the road with those prisoners. And he also asked you to kill Dowerkeg, the hobgoblin leader of these goblins, and then to take Dowerkeg's head and parade it through the city, telling everyone that Bajalin had funded your expedition. And why did he tell you that? Because it's an election year, and every seat on the village council, all 4 of them, are up right now. At the same time, you had that meeting and you took the job. Then you were approached by council members Palmine Sandalwood and Kadra Tourmaline, who also asked you to procure some things while you were on your journey. Kadra seemed very concerned with the food that was there and giving it to everybody who was outside of Tomar starving. Palmine wanted you to find some zombie rats for her. Because she is running some experiments, and apparently there are reports of zombie rats running around the valley. Summoth Skullcleaver, who is a local carpenter who is running for the first time for the village council, told you about a secret door in the back of Fort Frostfell, and wanted credit as well in case you came back and defeated the goblins. You started to make your way out, and you were met by Huberg Greyborn, leader of a village called Ice Song that has been lost to the melt. Huberg told you that Fort Frostfell is not just overrun with goblins, that these goblins are being led by a human warrior, a gnome wizard, and an undead called a White. And they're better organized, and that they seem to have like bombs and alchemical supplies that they are using with them. With that, and after a conversation with Isabel's son, you made your way into the valley, where you saw that the melt had caused all of these ruins to come out of that were underneath the ice and glacier that had been exposed. As you made your way to Fort Frostfell, once you got there to Fort Frostfell, you were scoping it out from the outside, and a dragon appeared behind you, having closed their jaws around Sparkle's neck. Sparkle being one of your draft horses that you have here that's pulling a cart. And we ended the session with Rock yelling at the dragon in Draconic just as the dragon was beginning to close its jaws entirely around Sparkle's neck. So, Rock, I am going to need you to make me an intimidation check with advantage because you are speaking in Draconic.
Okay. Well, this is exciting. My intimidation is -2.
All right.
All right. So with advantage, I rolled a 16, so that would be a 14.
Nice. Okay. All right. All right. So at that moment, the dragon goes, and Sparkle, her head comes out of his mouth. She is gasping for air, but alive. And this white dragon gets down on its legs and looks at you and says, "Share, in common."
No. Oh, in common. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then starts looking at all of you and says again, share.
No share.
Is your name Cher?
And the dragon looks at you and goes, Chillworm.
Chillworm. All right.
We kind of look around to see like if anybody recognizes what the heck this dragon is saying. Anything?
You get the feeling that the dragon is referring to itself, that is the dragon's name. Chillworm. And the dragon starts to Rock, you were in a tree, and the dragon starts climbing up the tree, and then looks right at you, like gets its face right up against your face, and says to you, give food. Looking at you just like that.
Okay. And she'll dig into her pouch, and I think she's got some rations. Nothing exciting, just like some. But she'll pull out some rations and hand them to Chillworm and be like, "See, you don't eat other people's horses. That's bad manners. But here."
And like Chillworm snaps them out of the air.
Okay.
And eats them and says, "Treasure! Treasure!" And then looks at all of you. "Treasure!"
No, my name is Rock. Rock?
He says, "Treasure! Treasure!" And then opens his mouth and lets loose this enormous blast of cold into the sky that you can all feel. Suddenly you feel, it's hot. There's still this sort of residual magical heat from the comet strike, and you all feel this burst of cold come out over you. Suddenly feels like you're back in the valley.
I take out my rations and I go, "More food," and I wave it at the dragon.
Make a persuasion check.
I am
Rainbowy.
2.
Oh.
2. The dragon comes over and is like jumps down from the tree and is going to try to jump on top of you. So the dragon is attempting to grapple you. So you can either make a strength athletics check or a dexterity acrobatics check to avoid.
I will make an acrobatics check, and I rolled a 19.
Okay, so you dodge out of the way as the dragon gets down and says, "One more time. Treasure for Chillworm."
I will fish into my pouch and pull out 2 gold pieces, and I'll kind of clink them together.
When you do that, the dragon's focus immediately, it's like a cat with a laser pointer, goes to you.
All right.
And it extends a hand towards you.
All right. I will kind of like hold it, like I'm gonna give it to him, just kind of like holding it in the air, and I say, "Tell us what you know of Fort Frostfell." And I kind of clink him again to get together again.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. And I'll give you advantage on the roll.
Right.
You've got something that.
I just rolled 2 17s, so that is a total of 21.
Oh, crap. All right. So the dragon looks at your treasure and says, "Goblins! Goblins! Whites! Harliot! Horwin! Harliot! Horwin! Whites! Goblins!" And then extends his hand again.
All right. I'll drop the gold in it.
Okay. When you drop the gold in, the dragon looks at you and says, "More for more? More for more?"
I nod and I pull out a couple more gold.
All right. The dragon will say, "Cellar ghost. Cellar ghost." And then Intraconic says the word for prisoner, which Rock, you recognize. I don't know if anybody else speaks Draconic or not, but if you do, you recognize.
I think I do.
Yeah.
And I'll respond in common. There is a ghost in the cellar who is a prisoner.
And the dragon nods at that.
Who's Harley Ox and Corlin?
Harliot human, and he points at humans in the party, which I believe is Torsten and Rainbow. Rainbowy. Sorry.
Thank you.
So he points at the two of you and then looks around and says, Horlan, little human.
Gnome?
The dragon sort of looks at you and cocks his head. Like he doesn't understand. Yeah.
Does this Harliot have two big axes?
Nods. He nods. Big,
right.
Big.
That's the human we were warned about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll pull out another 2 gold and say, secret way in.
Chillworm kind of like raises his eyebrow a bit and says, secret way? And then says in Draconic, I can take you the secret way.
Oh, excellent! This one knows the secret way.
So he seems much more intelligent draconically. Like he doesn't speak common.
Seems
very well.
like he's not necessarily more intelligent. He knows more words in Draconic. Yeah.
Can Isabel insight this petulant toddler?
Yes.
I would love to do that. Isabel is like, at first she was like, okay, but now that they're offering more things to a child throwing a tantrum.
Your mom sense is tingling.
Yeah, her grandma sense. Yeah, so I got a 16.
Okay. So yeah, on that 16, you know that it sounds like the dragon is talking about sort of their own entrance in.
Yeah. Dragon secret entrance and human secret entrance might not be the same.
Yeah. Do I get the sense that this dragon will definitely lead us to the secret entrance for this gold and we'll be okay?
You get the feeling that the dragon will lead Torsten to a secret entrance.
Secret entrance sounds a lot like den to be eaten. Now
we do have the word of one of the others. Who was it? Someone we met said that there was a red brick or something like that on the back.
Yeah. So we have that secret entrance.
Yeah.
What's Harliot? Is that his name?
Harliot is the name of the woman.
I want to say, is Harliot your friend?
And shakes his head.
Okay.
No friends here. Just, and then in Draconic says, just work acquaintances.
Isabel can't speak Draconic, but she will like lean into Thorsten and tell him like, I don't think that this is the same entrance that we need. Hold your gold until he's taken us there.
Meanwhile, Rock is going to say, this is very good. Take us to your secret entrance, please.
When you say that, the dragon attempts to snatch up Torsten in his clutches and fly away. Torsten,
try to dodge out of that way.
You want to dodge out of the way?
Yeah.
All right. Make either an athletics or acrobatics check for me.
Can I assist Torsten since I was near him, warning him? Can I?
Sure, you can try to shove him out of the way to give him an. So you have advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either move him or grab him.
Not that great. We're gonna go with 11.
Oh no.
Okay, so I have a 17.
Oh,
so
gosh.
the dragon snatches you up You get the feeling the dragon, it's not an enormous dragon, so it actually struggles a little bit under your weight and begins flying off
All right.
towards.
Wait. No.
Yeah.
I want to run and try and jump on and pull him down.
Okay. All right. Let's roll initiative here.
Oh
Okay.
God!
The best way to do things.
Oh, this is everything is bad.
This is great. This is awesome. It's gonna be fine.
All right. What did you get, Torsten?
I actually got a 20.
Oh, that's great. Torsten and Rain.
I got a 22.
Oh, all right. And what did you get, Rock?
I got a 9.
And how about Isabel?
Isabel also got a 9, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that the Aarakocra rogue has better dexterity.
That's a fair assumption.
Yeah, still didn't roll very well. I'm totally still in the tree. Like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Well, the dragon rolled a 1, so you're all going to go
Awesome.
before the dragon. So, Rain, you're first. You want to try to jump up and get Torsten down. Right now, Torsten's maybe, a good 10 feet above the ground, so not very high at all.
Oh, all right, yeah. So I break into a sprint to the nearest tree, jump onto the tree, and use that to catapult myself into the air over the dragon and try and land on its back to bring it down.
Yes,
Okay.
dragon riding.
So yeah, I think that will that sounds like we're grappling, so that's probably an athletics check here for that.
Okay. 9.
Okay, I
But
rolled
that
an
cool maneuver. Oh, okay, yeah. Good then.
It was a cool maneuver.
I think I still, we all have inspiration still too from last.
You do, yeah. If you
session.
want to re-roll, you definitely can.
But if he rolled an 8,
He rolled an 18. Sorry.
okay, I'm gonna re-roll. Yeah, I'm gonna use. I got a 9 again.
Okay.
Ah.
So yeah, you jump up, and the dragon actually manages a little bit of a roll and sort of manages to shrug you off, and you fall to the ground. But you land, monk style, superhero landing. It's all pretty good for you. Torsten, it is your turn.
I say, no, put me down, and I will try to just get out of his grip.
Okay. So do you want to try to persuade the dragon here to do this, or are you trying to struggle down and fall on your own?
I think I'll try to persuade him.
Okay, go ahead. Make a persuasion check.
All right. Not so good. 4.
Okay. The dragon says what Rock knows is in Draconic, like, calm down, everything will be fine.
I speak Draconic as well.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the dragon is telling you, calm down, everything will be fine. He's going to take you to the secret entrance, and then he'll come back for your friends.
Oh.
Okay, I will relate that. And I will hold on tighter then, I guess.
Okay. Rock, it is your turn. You have also heard this.
Yeah, so Rock was pulling out her copy of a newspaper that she got back in Tomar's Crossing because she was going to try to fly in front of this thing and be like, no, bad, drop, bad. But hearing this, she'll put the newspaper away and she'll follow and she'll call down to her friends and be like, we will come back for you. And then we'll fly up next to Chillworm and say, okay, lead on.
Okay. Isabel, it is your turn.
Sorry, what time of day is it?
So it is getting on towards evening. The sun is setting. It's dusk time.
Isabel is like, on the one hand, I don't want to lose sight of them because I don't know if dragon's secret entrance means nest for me to devour you later. On the other hand, Isabel doesn't want to, if his intentions are good, Isabel doesn't want to get on the horses and leave, and they try to come back and find Isabel and Rain and not know where they are. And Isabel can't see in the dark. Can Isabel see in the dark? Does Isabel?
Yeah, you're a half orc, right?
Yeah, so I can. Okay. Isabel's gonna get on the stupid horse. Isabel's taking Dusk.
No,
Okay.
not Dusk. Oh, no. You have to share Dusk. It's not
Nope,
your turn.
I called it.
So you get on Dusk. Are you following them as they go?
Yeah, she'll Rain landed on his feet, so she'll tell Rain that they should follow them. They should just go ahead and follow them.
Gotcha.
Just in case.
So I think we're sort of out of initiative here, but Rain, what is your?
Yeah, I'll hop on the horse and I'll grab the other horse or something. I don't know. How does that work? Tie off.
Yeah,
the
we could
horse
probably
to my
lead
horse.
Sparkle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sparkle's not in a condition to be ridden right now anyway.
Sparkle has some PTSD and has some issues that Sparkle's gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, Sparkle wants to stay far away from that dragon.
Sparkle probably needs a lie down, but no rest for the weary, Sparkle.
Okay, so the dragon manages to fly ahead. Is your Aarakocra fly speed is 30? Is that right, or is it faster than that?
Oh, I believe it is faster than that. My flying speed is 50 because I'm a rogue.
Okay, great. Well, and Chillworm will sort of keep pace then, because his fly speed is 60, but he has agreed to show you a way. So is flying with you. You can see as you begin to get close. You'd seen those goblins in the towers earlier. The goblins in the towers now are sort of looking up. They're watching around, and you see there's a bunch of looks like pots and pans on the towers around them. And you can see, in addition to that, there are a few other goblins moving around the complex and stuff. It looks like their gaze sort of starts to go up to Chillworm as they approach. Rock, what do you want to do in this circumstance? You're out there flying next to Chillworm.
So it's pretty clear that they can see at least Chillworm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So we had been warned that these goblins had bombs. Do I think that these pots and pans are filled with explosive materials of some sort?
Make a perception check.
Sure. Ooh, dirty 20.
Nice. Okay, so you are able to with your dirty 20, see they look like pots and pans look fine. However, the goblins on their vests are wearing these bandoliers, and there are little burlap bags along these bandoliers. And it looks like maybe that's what they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Since he's kind of carrying me and I see the goblin sort of starting to look up, can I sort of scramble to sort of try to get on his back so they won't be able to see me if we're above?
Sure.
Below, I'll just sort of hug tighter, whatever works better.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. Go ahead and make an athletics check. Is that what we want to do, or maybe make a stealth check? I think that's probably better.
Same.
Yeah. Gotcha.
15.
Okay.
If he's gonna do that, I was eyeing this stuff, but when I see you doing that, maybe what Rock will decide to do instead is fly so that the dragon is in between her and these goblins, so that maybe all they see is the dragon. Because if this thing lives around here or has been around here, they might be used to seeing it. But she's gonna reposition and fly on the other side of the dragon.
Okay, yeah, make a stealth check.
Sure. 17.
Okay, great. So you all are flying. You can see your friends are sort of getting following on the horse. The way the dragon flies over, right? The Fort Frostfell is on top of this big mesa. And there's one path that leads up to the front gate. And the other sides of it are all sort of craggy, cliffy, straight up and down. He flies towards one of the straight up and down sides and carries you over And then there are 3 towers. 2 of the towers are right flank the gate and have the goblins in it. There's another tower towards the back where Chillworm lands with both of you on top of this tower. Rainbow and Isabel, you can see Chillworm flies towards that tower and stops, and there's a trap door on the top of the tower that is open. In fact, it's non-existent, I should say. There isn't like a covering there, but goes down. There would have normally been some sort of covering, and you can walk downstairs into the tower there. And Chillworm drops you both and says in Draconic, this is my tower. Nobody else can come in here. And says, gotta get the other ones, and then flies off.
Do I know if the other 2 speak Draconic?
I don't know.
Okay, that's gonna be fun. That'll be a moment. All right. This dragon flies off, and yeah, I guess Rock is just gonna crouch down and say, I guess we should wait here for them?
Definitely. I kind of peek my head just kind of ever so slowly just to see if anything's down there, kind of listen.
Sure, yeah. When you poke your head down, Torsten, you can see that there are... you can see that first, it feels like the temperature in this room drops immediately, and you can see that the walls are covered in ice that is melting. It's sort of in like a slushy stage because of the temperature. And you can see that there are a couple of bones of various humanoids on the ground. And also among this slushy stuff, there are a few different coins and gems and a couple of bottles as well.
All right.
Torsten, what do you see?
I kind of pull my head back and explain what I saw.
Nice.
I think...
So,
Wait.
oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if he's gonna look down the hatch, Rock will
Mhm.
peer over the edge, like poke her head up and see if any of the goblins that are along the wall, or if we've alerted anybody, if they're just used to this dragon flying back and forth, or if they've stopped paying attention at this point.
Make a perception check, Rock. One more for me.
That's another dirty 20.
Nice.
So
All right. So it looks like the goblins who are along the walls and sort of walking about the grounds appear to have gone back to doing what they were doing. In the case of the goblins in the walls, they're sort of back to just sitting there and not really paying that great attention. The goblins running around are like running in and out of chambers, but you can hear some cries of sounds like someone in pain coming from chambers below, not in the tower, but in the sort of grounds of the fort. So the fort itself is this 4-walled structure. It's got the 3 towers, one in each corner. One corner has no tower. But then along the fort's walls, there are these buildings on the inside. In fact, you can see 3 of them. And so those cries are coming from one of the buildings closest to the tower that you are in.
Okay. I'm going to stay low and quiet and just wait, I think, for the rest of our companions.
Yep.
Awesome. So speaking of the rest of your companions, Rain and Isabel, you are able to make it to this mesa all the way on the horse if you want to. You come up against the wall, however, that is sort of sheer cliff face. What would you like to do when you hit that wall?
Did they call back that the dragons were going to come back and get us, or was that just
Yeah,
Draconic?
Torsten did say that he explained that.
Okay. I guess wait.
Right. Isabel, what would you like to do?
Isabel's gonna have a look around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
She'll go ahead and climb off of Dusk and just like survey the area.
Dusk.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no!
Make me an investigation check.
Move your feet, lose your seat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like while she's doing that, Rain just
You
like
turn around
jumps
and
from
suddenly
one
I'm
of
on
us
Dusk.
to the
And
other.
I'm stretching like, oh.
Oh yeah! Heck yeah! This is awesome. Oh well, I just got an 18 because I have nothing in wisdom. So.
Hey, that's totally cool because 18 is great.
Yeah.
And you notice sort of all the way to the one side of the cliff, there is there's like an outcropping of rock, right? But when you step back, you can see what looks like very old and weathered steps that were actually carved into the side of the cliff here, all the way back away from the front gate, right? So if you're picturing the tower, you've approached, or the fort, you've approached it from the side. Let's say all the way on your left is the front gate. All the way on your right is this stair that if you were to go up, you would be at the back wall of the fort.
In that case, Isabel is going to. What have I got on me? What weapon am I using? I'm using a longsword. Ugh. I have a dagger. I want to screw up the sword. I do have a dagger. Awesome. So she's going to take her dagger, and I assume that as a guard, they had like codes. So she will write a symbol along the cliff face pointing towards the steps in case she comes this way again. And also,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and also to pass on in case anything happens, at least her son, I'm sure she's taught these codes to her son, so if she doesn't come back, her son would be able to find the secret entrance too.
Definitely.
And just get an idea for the lay of the land. And then she'll wait by the horses, and she'll let Rain know what she was doing too, just in case.
Sure. Rain, do you want to do anything now that you have that information?
No, I'm going to give Dusk an apple.
Okay.
So Dusk likes me more than Isabel.
Isabel's going to pretend not to notice. Okay, fine.
Dusk appreciates it because apples are at a premium these days in the Luna Valley. So it's been a while since old Dusk had an apple. At that moment, after you carve that, Chillworm comes back down, and immediately just makes a grab for Isabel, and swoops down, just goes to pick you up. Do you want to try to avoid being picked up, Isabel?
For some reason, Isabel's like, man, maybe we shouldn't split the party at level 1, just like in her thoughts. And so she will allow this dragon baby Bjorn situation.
Okay. So, so Isabel, you go up in this dragon's clutches. You see the same thing as you fly over the courtyard. Is there anything you want to do as you're being flown over the courtyard, in the grasp of this dragon?
Play dead.
Okay. So you play dead, and as you do, you hear some of the goblins below cheer. Chillworm. Like, Chillworm.
That's fine.
Chillworm.
I just figure like as a orcish type person, we probably like orcs and goblins ain't best friends, so they probably cool with it.
Yeah, and you hear a comment. One of the goblins screams something up about save some scraps for us, as you are brought up. Rainbowy, you're by yourself. Isabel gets dropped off.
Sure. I'll tie the horses off to a tree. That way they don't run off. Dusk will run free if given any
of course
opening.
It's that wild Dusk card.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Sparkle is just like huddled up against another tree. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what my life has come to. Oh God.
Let them take me again.
um and Isabel, you are dropped off with your friends as well up there with Rock and Torsten, and you all can do whatever you like as the dragon tells you in Draconic, "One more to go," and then flies down.
Isabel will tell them that she found the cliff face with the possible secret entrance, and that she has marked it. And
Gotcha.
she will draw the sign that she marked it with in the dirt.
Oh,
JIC.
gotcha. There
Out
you
of
go.
curiosity, since Rock understands thieves can't, does this look familiar? Is this one of those symbols that might be shared between thieves can't and like what the guards use for
Oh
symbols?
yeah, like let's just be honest. Like y'all probably, I don't know what the medieval version of a police scanner is.
So it's not thieves can't, but I would recognize it just
Yeah,
because we're like,
you'd recognize it as like a guard's symbol for a hideout to be like a sting operation hideout to be gone into later.
okay.
Oh, awesome. That's great. I love that. So as
Rock will nod and be like, "Oh, good, I get to be the police now."
Sure, kid.
She's all excited that she gets to be on the good side of the law.
So Rainbowy, you tie up the horses, and the next thing you know, the dragon is coming down towards you. Are you going to allow it to pick you up?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Escape.
So yeah, you're picked up in its clutches, and it begins to fly you back. What would you like to do as you fly over the fort and witness the goblins?
Yeah, I'm looking for the white. I'm scanning and trying to find the white because I want to fight that guy.
Okay. Okay.
That's my
Make
guy.
me a perception check.
21.
Oh, crap. Okay. So you notice these three little buildings I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
One of the buildings you notice has a stone door. The other buildings have these sort of rotted wood doors on them. So you can see that there's like one building that looks more secure. And it's also set off on its own. And you would know that like that's sort of, it's probably some sort of commander's quarters or that sort of thing. But you don't see the white itself anywhere. And then you are taken to the top of this tower and dropped off. And again, similar cheers as you fly over. You hear the goblins talk about how they're going to eat well tonight.
Oh, man, I don't feel bad about killing them.
And Chillworm drops you all off and then extends its hand towards Torsten.
I will drop a few gold in his hand.
Okay. The dragon gets excited and then starts going down the steps. And you can hear it the sound of its breath weapon going off once again, and you can feel these bursts of cold coming out through the bottom of the chamber, every 30 seconds or so. And you can hear like water sort of sloshing around too, as it's doing stuff. What would you all like to do?
Yeah, I look back at the rest of the group and I go, well, it looks like we go down.
Yeah.
Are we invited in? I mean, is this it?
I said, Chillworm. I kind of call to Chillworm.
His head pops up through the trapdoor.
And I go, we can go down further into the fort and drop.
Yes, but don't touch my treasure.
Of course.
And then goes back down.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be careful because they're expecting to eat us, so they might send a representative to gather the bodies. So quietly would be my... I'm quite stealthy, I may say, and I imagine Rock is also stealthy. Stealth team.
The stealth team, yes.
Stealth team.
Yes.
That's us.
I can be very quiet if I need to.
Isabel just kind of like looks at her chainmail and is like,
That's
But why don't you guys
excellent.
go first?
Yeah, I would like to go down and quietly kind of scout where this tower leads down to. Is there one doorway? Are there windows? Kind of a deal.
I'll be right behind him,
Okay.
giving him backup.
So yeah, Rock and Rain, and with in front, you come down. You see the same thing, only now. Well, there is some sludge still on the floor. Now all of the coins and stuff are look like they're pressed against the walls, and the ice is now, there's like fresh sheets of ice on all of the walls that is holding the coins back, and you can see Chillworm is up on their hind legs, and they are pressing, they're like keeping gold against the wall in a claw and breathing on it to sort of keep it in place, and seems very frustrated that this melt sort of keeps happening and ruining their treasure vibe, and really isn't paying any attention to you at all, as just sort of trying to scoop up handfuls of sludgy coins and stick them to the wall and freeze them again. And so you all see this, and then you can see there is a spiral stair that continues down on the other side of the room that you could easily get to.
Chillworm, what other exits are there out of your place?
Chillworm points to the stairs and then points up back the way you came.
And where does down lead? Where will we come out?
And he says, tower is Chillworm's tower. No one is allowed except Dour Keg. And he says, and then he like sort of cocks his head and listens and says, no one downstairs. And then says, the rest of the fort is outside.
Are there windows on this floor?
There are small, sort of like the old real skinny windows that you wouldn't be able to fit your body through.
Sure.
Murder
most
holes.
people.
Murder holes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Chill Touch, do you like Dour Keg?
And he says, in Draconic again, work acquaintance, and shrugs.
Yeah.
Okay, then we should leave this tower because we'd be stuck here if we got rushed.
Yeah.
And as Rock and Rain go ahead, as we kind of wait for them to get a little bit ahead, so we're not making noise behind them too much. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
Good call.
Good call.
5 HP.
Good call.
Yeah. If Chill
sorry,
Touch,
go ahead.
yeah, actually, I'm gonna follow up on this work acquaintance thing, and Rock is gonna say, Chill Touch, don't tell Dour Keg we are here, okay?
And Chillworm sort of shrugs his shoulders, and each of you make a perception check as you're making your way out here.
All right.
14.
Okay.
7.
All right.
Yeah, I got 5.
Okay. Isabel, what'd you get?
sorry, I had to roll for my disadvantage.
Oh.
I got a 4.
Okay. So Rain, you notice everybody else is sort of making their way out. You notice there is carved on the wall, just sort of very lightly. It looks like, Chillworm has carved this with their claw into the wall. You can see there is a crude image like whatever the dragon equivalent of stick figures is, of a dragon and a very big individual, and they're like the dragon is reaching up and has his claw holding the hand of this individual, sort of like when kids draw themselves with their family. Like that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Does it does the little figure, is it have hobgoblin-esque features, or
it could be. It's really hard to
just
tell.
like a humanoid, or
it's clearly supposed to be someone who is big. So it could be like a real big, bulky hobgoblin. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't help with this. Not even grandmas can decipher this type of art.
I point and I say, "Oh wow, this is such wonderful art. Is this you? Who's this with you?"
When you point, he goes over, like real proud, sort of walks over, and points to it and goes, "Chillworm," and he points to the dragon, and then points to the figure and says, "Bazig, Bazig."
Bazig. Was that one of the names he gave us earlier? He said
You have not heard that name.
No.
Okay. Who's Bazig? I ask.
And he in Draconic says friend.
Oh.
Is Bazig the ghost that's downstairs?
Chillworm. No. Bazig. Big. Bazig not here. And Chillworm sort of, starts to go back to what he was doing.
Bazig's not here, so
All
don't have to worry about him.
Chillworm, your work acquaintances. How interested are you in upwards mobility?
He looks at you, and then looks around and says, treasure? Treasure.
Yes, well, there are all these goblins and the wights and bad things, and we would like to make them all go away. Is that okay? And then you can be middle management.
Make a persuasion check.
This is never good.
And you've plied him with a lot of treasure, so advantage is, I think, called for here.
Okay.
What's your charisma?
Oh, my charisma sucks.
Oh
I
no!
should never be talking. I have a -2. My charisma is horrible. But I did roll a 19, and so that is a 17 with my negative.
Nice.
Okay. When you do that,
Rock has no charisma and no persuasion. She's just very perceptive. She knows what to say.
Chillworm looks at all of you in the eye and says, Bazig said okay?
Yes.
Nice. Rudy, make me a deception check.
Oh.
Isabel would like to assist by saying that this fort grows so much smaller with all of these people here. Bazig is so big, he needs the room. Bazig needs the room.
Nice. Okay, yeah. With advantage.
17.
Okay. Chillworm says, and Chillworm keep tower?
Yes.
We would never
Sure.
take your room from you.
And Chillworm looks at you and says, okay, new work acquaintances. And he holds his arms out towards you.
Give him a hug.
That's too formal. That's too informal for working acquaintance. I shake his hand.
Isabel will slip off a ring and put it in his clawed hand.
Oh.
Ooh.
Chillworm loves that, and immediately sticks it to the wall and breathes on it, and then hugs Torsen, and then shakes hands with Rain, and turns to the Aarakocra, like looking expectantly now for
Oh, yeah.
instructions.
For instructions. I'll shake his hand. I'll just say, just don't tell anybody we are here, okay?
Okay. And then he like goes back to work.
I say Chillclaw or Chillworm. Should things look, if you see us out there and things look dicey and you want to help us, there could be a few gold in it for you.
Chillworm's eyes get big, and he says, Chillworm do what Bozig's friends want.
Say, well, if you see us and we need help us out.
Chillworm nods. And then goes up to the top of the tower, and you get the feeling is like taking up that position to watch.
Nice.
Uh,
All right.
Rock is gonna lean over and whisper to Rain and Torsen and say, like, so who is Buzzik? Do you know this Buzzik?
He looks
No.
big.
Yeah.
I hope he's
Okay.
friendly. Oh, I want to
Okay.
fight him.
Well, no, we are now. He's
Oh,
work
right.
acquaintances. He is now our manager, I think. Okay.
I didn't sign no W4.
All right.
It's all under the table. Okay.
So are you all continuing down the stairs then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Team Stealth want to go in
Yeah,
front
let's go
and
first.
Team Stealth? Yeah.
Team
Well.
Okay, so as you come down, you can see, you sort of the cold starts to leave a little bit, and you're starting to feel some of that hot mugginess, sort of unnatural heat that's in the valley right now, and you can see that there is this bottom level just is totally destroyed. But as you're going down the steps, you notice sets of like muddy, enormous boot prints. Like size 15 shoe, sort of making their way up and down repeatedly in the tower. And it's just these big footprints. It looks like nobody else has been up and down the tower for weeks this way as you make your way down. And there's just destroyed furnitures, and there's like a muddy boot and, a bunch of stuff in the bottom of this tower. And you can see one of those rotting wooden doors that there's even like little holes through that are letting in the dusk light from the outside as the sun is setting.
Do these
Given the size of these boot prints, can I guess at what sort of creature this could be from?
Sure. Make a nature check.
Nature.
I hate to be that guy by like assisting again, but like this
No.
fort was made for like humans. So can Isabel like look at the doors and see whether or not there's like fur caught on them or anything like that that would give them an idea of how big the creature is if it is not a human, etc.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And never be afraid to be that guy.
Okay, I just
yeah.
want to make sure.
Yeah, I love when people work together. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Roll with advantage in?
Yes.
Use those detective skills.
So 13.
Okay. You think this is based on the size, and Isabel is able to point out like some sort of long gross black hair that has made it that is not of any human that you know of. It's sort of more coarse and really, really thick hair that more reminds you of something you would find on like a horse's tail or that sort of thing. And it is you think this is either like an orc or a hobgoblin or something else that can grow hair out of the top of its head and be a big humanoid.
Well, Chillworm said that Dour Keg was the only one that was allowed downstairs, so it's pretty.
That matches.
Once you say that, it'd be pretty obvious. Oh, this is Dour Keg hair. Oh,
Yeah.
I was hoping it would tell us more about what did he say his other leader was? What's his name?
Bazig.
Bazig, yeah, Bazig.
Yeah.
But
How
makes
fresh are the footprints? Were they recent or?
Some of them look very old. Some of them look more recent. So there's sort of all varieties. Probably the most recent are within the last day or so.
Oh, okay. He said Bazig. I don't know.
Well, he said Bazig wasn't here, but Dowerkeg comes by on a regular basis. This is
Okay.
probably his. So Rock is going to creep up to the door and use one of the holes in the door to peek through and kind of look outside and see what she can see.
So when you peek out, you can see that like right nearby is the door from where you had heard the cries of pain. And actually, now that you're down here, it sounds like this tower sort of shares a wall with that area, and you can all hear some sort of muffled cries of pain intermittently happening. Almost like someone on the other side of the wall is maybe being whipped, or that sort of thing. And then it's followed by like a guffaw, like a through the crack. You can't see any goblins walking around this area right now. So that's what you can see out sort of through the door. And then it looks like the path continues all the way up to the front gate, where you do see occasionally a goblin or two sort of milling about, walking by.
And how close is it to it being dark? You said it was dusk, but like how long before it's totally dark?
You probably have about an hour before it's totally dark.
All right. Brock will turn back to the group and say, so what is our plan? Are we killing everybody?
We're just trying to get the people and stop them somehow. Stop these goblins. I mean, maybe if the whites, if we can kill him, maybe the goblins would give up or whatever.
That sounds like bad people doing bad things right there. Do we want to start
we need to
there?
save them for sure. Looking out there, is that like the courtyard kind of area right outside? Like if we walk out there, we're kind of in the open.
Kind of, but you won't be totally exposed because of these buildings that are sticking out from the wall. You're sort of catty corner, right? So if you've got a tower, then this other building juts right up against the tower, and they share a wall. So you wouldn't be completely exposed. If somebody was looking your way, they'd probably see the door open, but right now it doesn't look like anybody is. I will say the building you're next to is not the one with the heavy stone door that Rainbow saw. It has another crappy wood door.
Okay.
Well, we can wait for it to be dark and sneaky,
Yeah.
or we can just go and try to be stealthy and help. This noise it doesn't sound good. I don't like. I want to go do something now.
How many of us can see in the dark?
Can Eric Crocus? No, just you, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just the person wearing chainmail.
just for, yeah.
Is it a whole action to put armor on?
It is. It takes longer than that. I think it takes several minutes in some cases.
Yeah.
But that is not something that I can take off and put back on in a pinch then.
Yeah.
No.
Do the goblins have armor? Are any of them wearing chainmail? If it's dark and you're sneaking around, they might not notice or care about the noise because it's just regular.
That is true.
The goblins are wearing what looks like leather armor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is somebody screaming right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and every minute that goes by, like Rock's feathers fluff in agitation a little bit more, like stand up in the back of her neck. She's like, she really, really wants to go and stop this, but she knows that's not the smart thing to do right away. Yeah.
Honestly, our mission is to bring back people alive. If we wait, this person might die. If we don't wait, we might die and nobody gets back.
Okay, we go. And Rock is going to head towards the door and try to stealth.
Sure, we go.
Okay. So Rock, make a stealth check as you get closer to the door. Are you going to sort of like push it open? Is that your plan? See if
like check to make I don't think we've actually checked if this door is locked. My assumption is it's not, but like check the door, push it open, and see if she can like sneak over to this other door and maybe like check out that door if it's locked. Just start making the way.
Yeah, go ahead. You can make a stealth check, and if you would like, I will let you make a whole stealth check for the entire group, like you're leading them, but it will be with disadvantage.
Oh,
Can I help with that in any way, fellow stealth?
So if you, you two can make it together if you want, and then one of you can make a single stealth roll for the whole group.
well, I just rolled, so if he wants to help, if you like, we'll get to the door, and if you want to like look out while I make it to the other door,
Sure.
I rolled a 17, so that's a 22.
Okay, so yeah, between the two of you, you're able to signal and get Torsten and Isabel to the door. So you're all sort of there, pressed against the wall or crowded in a shadow and that sort of thing. And Rock, as you push the door open, you are met with like what is a pretty horrible scene. The first thing you notice is this terrible odor washes in. And assaults your senses, and you can see back against the wall in this chamber there are a bunch of people who they're all sort of manacled to one chain that has been threaded through these wall sconces that have torches, and they're all chained together. They're anchored by the two people at the end. Looks like there's maybe a dozen people in this chain line against the wall, all adults. And you can see one adult who is like an older warrior is on a table and is being held down by two big hobgoblins, like sort of muscular. And then there's an enormous corpulent hobgoblin who is wearing a makeshift crown. It looks like he took a bucket and like cut a bunch of things out of it and then put it on their head to make it look like a Burger King crown almost. And they have a human leg in their hand that they are eating like a Renaissance fair turkey leg. And the person who is being held down on the table, the hobgoblins are very, very slowly sawing his leg off. So he's got one missing leg that looks like they've tied off and tourniqueted, and now they're very slowly doing this other one and sort of regularly sawing the intervals, and this person is crying out in pain.
Yeah,
I assume let's roll initiative.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they don't see us, the one that's doing the sawing, I'd like to put an arrow through his eye, like right now.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so, and since you're all hidden, you all will get a surprise round.
I love it.
Surprise! Yes. Oh, I do not have any any ranged weapons. This is a problem. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I mean, you get a whole, you can move in there too. They're very close. So every monster is within one move, except for the big dude who's eating the leg. He's to get to him, he's still within one move, but you would need to pass by his guards.
I rolled a 2 though, so
That's okay. I rolled a 1.
well.
But I think
that.
So yeah,
that
what
means
is your total then, Rock?
my total is 4, but that's still a natural 1.
Isabel?
She's so surprised by this horrible scene that it like startles her for a second, and she can't act immediately.
I rolled a 2 because I have no dexterity.
Okay. Don't need it. It's a garbage stat.
Hey.
Rain, what'd you get?
21.
21.
He has a problem with that.
And what did you get, Torsten?
16.
Okay. Well, so you're all going to get a surprise round. So let's start with there. And Rain, you can go first.
Surprise round is one action or one full turn?
One full turn.
Okay, cool. I'm going to run over and I actually use a short sword because level 1 monk is garbage. So I'm going to use that to attack.
Okay. Who are you attacking?
The one doing the sawing.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll to hit.
Ooh, 11.
An 11 will miss. They're wearing chainmail. So yeah, your bounces off, and this guy turns around and looks at you. The sawing has stopped.
That's
so
good.
that's a thing.
That's
Um,
important.
yeah. Robert, it is Torsten's turn.
Sure. So Torsten will kind of step into the room. He says a quick prayer to Eldath to protect his friends, and he also apologizes for having to do this to someone. And he uses the magic that Callus taught him, and he summons a witch bolt to attack the crowned hobgoblin. And I'm gonna use my inspiration to get advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hit this guy. All right, nice. That was needed. So I got a 21 to hit him.
Yep, that hits.
All right. So I'm gonna do. Oh, I just rolled a 12 on a d12, so 12 points of damage.
Nice.
And we'll continue to hold that witch bolt on him. So 12 points of lightning damage.
Oh yeah, so it's a big hit. As the smell of sizzled hobgoblin goes everywhere, and this guy drops the leg and is as you start to electrocute the individual.
And I will continue.
Yeah, Rock, it is your turn.
All right, Rock is pulling out her short bow and is going to shoot the one that is that was doing the sawing. So the one that Rain just run up on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's only a 9 though, so that's probably gonna miss.
Yeah, 9 will miss.
And then I don't think I have any cool things yet as a rogue because I'm still only a level 1. So, can I hide as a bonus action? Do I have that yet?
No, not yet. That's level 2. Cunning action, yeah.
Yeah. She'll at least move in and start to move around. She doesn't want to get within 5 feet of these guys because she's going to stay within range, but like move towards the people manacled in the back.
Okay.
And gonna try to not only stand between them and these creatures, but also if she can say real quick, keep screaming so no one knows we're here, and just get ready another arrow. She's gonna try to tell the people on the wall, like, mask us doing this fighting. So
they start to scream and like shake their chains against the wall and make as much noise as possible when you say that.
Good job. What are you to help?
Isabel.
Isabel is going to unsling her shield and clang it a couple of times just to kind of like hype herself up. And she's going to go for the hobgoblin that was sawing. So she's gonna strike at him with her long sword.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that is a 19.
That definitely hits.
Yeah.
Nice.
Eat it, scrub. What? I could have added my proficiency. Yeah. And then I get to roll a d10. So d10 plus 3. Oh, 13.
Okay. Dang. All right. How would you like to end this hobgoblin?
Oh, man. Isabel hasn't killed anyone in a long time. So she actually, when he was moving out of the way to dodge Rain's attack, she is like right there on the other side, and she just like sweet scorpion wraps him around the back of the head, and the sharp of her blade catches right underneath his occipital, and slides under that parietal ridge and just like cleaves the back of his head in half like a watermelon.
TK, the knowledge of anatomy that you just dropped there.
I'm a hairdresser.
Who knew Esperel was
inspiration?
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely inspiration for that.
We all learned something today, and that was
yeah.
Yeah. His brains just spill out the back like jam.
Yeah. So and they just fall down, and brains go everywhere. And we're back to Rain. It is your turn. We're back
Okay, yeah. I point at Dower Keg and I say, "You, let's fight!" And I run over and I go fight him. Right?
Okay, nice.
I'm not engaged with the other hobgoblin.
Yeah, they just got killed. So
the other. All right.
Oh no, they're across a table. They were on
Okay,
opposite
cool. That's
sides of
what
the
I figured.
table.
All right, yeah. So I run over and I swing my my short sword, which is a wazakai. I don't know how to say it. It's like a short samurai sword.
Gotcha.
It's a monk weapon.
Nice.
24. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, all right. We will be giving away a copy of the Demonplague at the end of this podcast. And Rudy.
Yes. Everyone, if you type in !James right now, you will be entered into the giveaway. That is !James.
So type in !James to be entered for our giveaway, as Don't Split the Podcast has just shown you in the chat. And you might win a copy of this adventure that we are playing right now. Rudy, why don't you give me your damage?
Yes.
This is gonna be nice.
8 piercing damage. Ooh.
Okay.
And then as a monk, I can do an unarmed strike as a bonus action. So I will do so.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, okay. So there's a 1. Cool. So got both ends of the spectrum here.
Nice. All right. So the 1 misses, but give me that damage on that critical.
Oh, right. I get double. 8, I said. So.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I missed that. How would you like to kill this guy who is currently being electrocuted?
Oh, I'm just
Nice.
going to run him through with my short sword. It's a stabby sword, not a swipey sword. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to stab him right in the chest and say, "You're bad at fighting." And then I'm going to take his crown and I'm going to put it on.
So yeah, you stab him, he slumps over, he's still getting electrocuted by Torsten, and you take the crown and place it on your head. As you say, you're bad at fighting. Inspiration for you. Let's see, they're dead. So now it is the remaining hobgoblin's turn. That hobgoblin is going to disengage and run towards the door and swing the door open and call for aid as it does. So that is the hobgoblin's turn. Robert, it is Torsten's turn.
Well, I have no more witch bolt things. I will move away. So is that hobgoblin next to me, or where is he compared to me?
The hobgoblin is probably fairly close to you. Yeah. About 10 feet away, you can say.
Okay. So I will sort of back up and use my chill touch on him, say a few words of magic, and make an attack on him. So the skeletal hand goes out. That is probably going to miss. Maybe 13.
13. All right, nice. That is going to miss with the sorry, I know my reaction made it seem like it was great. Yeah, it is a very unchill touch.
Yeah, and I will sort of back up a little bit even further from him.
Oh, okay. Nice. Rock, it is your turn.
So is there anybody actually next to this dude?
At the moment, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, he's calling for help. I guess I'm gonna try to stick an arrow in the back of his head.
Okay.
So, that'll be. I've been rolling a lot of dirty 20s, a lot of 15s today. So that's a dirty 20.
Nice.
So,
that is awesome.
I don't get sneak attack because nobody's next to him, so it's just gonna be so that's 9 damage.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, the goblin staggers, basically is hunched over at this point from that big arrow hit, is still breathing, and it is Isabel's turn.
How far away is he from Isabel, from where she's like shaking the blood off of her other sword?
Probably 15 feet, maybe.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna move in and engage him while he's getting an arrow through the back of his head and swipe at his neck.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see whether or not these dice were blessed by Lisa. Don't let me down.
Don't let me down.
What's that? Boom.
I rolled a 17, so it is a 22.
Nice.
Oh my, yes, that is certainly a hit. With 2 hit points remaining, no damage needed. Just tell me how you'd like to end this.
Oh, she sees where his head goes back from the arrow catching him in the side, and she just like uses that energy that he's going into that recoil and whatcha, and then his little head goes flying. And like in her mind, she's thinking "go," but she doesn't say it out loud. She just uses her armored foot and kicks his body off of her sword.
Wow.
And then closes the door.
Yeah. Are you keeping his body on the closed side of
on
the
the
door?
closed side? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you close the door.
Option.
His body slides in with the door, and the door closes. And at the moment, we're all out of initiative. And the man on the table, whose leg is bleeding badly, his one remaining leg, looks at all of you and goes, "Thank you. Oh God, thank you." And the people, meanwhile, are still screaming and banging chains against the wall.
Yes, keep doing that.
Rock.
That's fine.
Oh, can Rock take a quick look at these 3 dead bodies and see, are there any keys to the manacles? Are there any key ring or anything? It's something obvious.
Yeah. So the one who was wearing the crown looks like you can see right on his belt has a big key ring with a bunch of iron keys.
She's going to snatch that up and start unlocking the manacles and getting everybody free, because she figures any second now there's going to be a horde of goblins and they need to book it.
Similarly,
okay. Keep screaming though. This is good. Yes. And she's just down the line.
while we're searching bodies, do they have any identifier for the clan that they're in?
The goblins, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. So the goblins all have an image of like essentially like an emoji face with fangs on it, grimacing, real, but it's just like a circle with a couple of pointed goblin-y ears and like this fanged mouth and eyes that look mean. And
Awesome.
You would all know, having been in the region and having researched it before you left, that's the symbol of the barrel harp goblins. And the as you're unlocking people, Rock, one of a woman who is locked up, who's appears to be middle-aged, gets up and gives you a big hug when you unlock her, and then turns to Rain and says, "You killed Dowerkeg."
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, hug, very nice. Later, when we are out of here. And she'll just like quick pat hug and then slip away and keep unlocking. I mean, how many people
she
are
like goes to
that?
hug Rain when you say that, and then it's like, okay, later, we'll hug later. It'll be a later hug.
We'll shake hands. That's too informal hugging.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut his ears off and take his ears. I've got his crown, but I believe I promised ears. So.
You did.
We promised
you
ears.
did.
We promised head.
I didn't promise head.
I think ears were the compromise where we landed.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Corsten will go and try to do his best, try to remember the lessons that Isperl gave him about wrapping wounds, and try to wrap up the guys whose legs are cut.
Yeah.
Excellent. Make a medicine check for me.
All right. Not so much. 7.
Okay. Well, you don't make it worse.
And you accidentally cut off his other leg.
Whoops.
Like the good news is your leg's gonna be fine. The bad news is you have no arms now. I'm not sure what to do. But yeah, no, he's totally fine. You seem to get the impression that the goblins were taking this slow process and were cutting him this way. You can tell when you look at the wound because they wanted to save him. And as you're freeing some of the prisoners, you can see that actually some of the other prisoners are missing legs or fingers or that sort of thing. That it was sort of a way to keep fresh meat around.
How many prisoners are there besides this guy on the table?
There are a dozen other prisoners, so 13 total in this room.
And are there any other exits out of this room?
There are not. This looks like it was sort of one long hall that they were keeping these people, and there was just that front door to it.
Okay.
Is there anything else of interest on the hobgoblins?
Yes. While I'm pulling that up, Isabel, is there anything you wanted to do?
Are these red-skinned hobgoblins, like typical red-skinned hobgoblins?
Great question. These are winter hobgoblins, which are exclusive to the Luna Valley and the Demonplague. Available now. It is so they actually have like a bluish hue to their skin. As do the goblins who are running around because they are winter goblins. So yeah.
Well, Isabel can't do anything for her skin then, but she will take one of their cloaks and patches and put it on her, and keep the hood up.
What you do notice in this room is there is so you're searching pockets and you're looting and you're freeing prisoners. You see, once the prisoners are cleared away from the wall, there is a crude map carved into the wall that looks like it is the map of the region. There's like a little X where Tomar's Crossing is, and you can see there's Fort Frostfell. And then you can see there is a path that leads further west. So you came west from Tomar's Crossing to get to Fort Frostfell. There's a path that leads further west and has a X there as well that you can see. So looks like there's indicating there's some sort of site that would be important to the goblins further west out of here. And so in addition to that, you also find that the goblins are carrying total 134 silver pieces among them. And Dowerkeg has a small bag with 6 small pearls in it.
Nice.
Dowerkeg, his feet, do I think they are large enough to make the mud prints that were in Chillworm?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Chillworms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have everybody free by now?
Yes, you do. And as you do, people are standing up. They're still screaming. They're starting to go hoarse a little bit. And
Okay. There's enough screaming. Is that right? I think we're okay. Thank you. No, very good screaming.
When the screaming stops, at the same time, there's this burst of cold that you feel like sort of roll over the room from outside. It's just, like almost like a cold wind rushes in.
Is it the same Chillworm kind of breath weapon chill?
Feels a similar kind of cold.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna quickly ask, does anybody know where did they keep all the food? Where did they keep all the supplies?
And they say they look at each other and they say, well, they're Gothmog has it.
Gothmog?
And one of like an old dwarf goes, yeah. Terrible undead creature running this place here. Dowerkegs.
He has a name. Gothmog.
Second in command. Calls himself Gothmog.
Wait,
Plague-
Dowerkeg was in charge?
Dowerkeg was in charge of the goblins.
Oh.
Gothmog was in charge of Dowerkeg.
Gotcha.
And then the same woman who hugged you says, we're not the only ones.
There's more prisoners.
Yes, but they're not here. They got taken somewhere else. I don't know where. It would happen every few days.
Rock will point to the big X on the wall leading further west and be like, there, that thing.
I don't know. I never really got out of here, but I know that sometimes the goblins would look at it, study it.
So, okay, one problem at a time. The right now problem is displaced. We go somewhere else and get other people other place. So, do you know where Gothmog keeps all the stuff?
And the dwarf says, I saw it when we were coming in. They were moving it into that building with the nice one with the stone door.
Yeah.
Okay.
About how far was it to get to the from the tower to get to here?
Oh, like 5 feet, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not very far at all.
Smuggle them in there. You guys think we should try to hide them in the tower, maybe?
Oh, do you think we can have Chill Worm ferry them out of here, out of the fort, if we give him more money?
Oh, we could possibly do that. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we can ask.
That nobody goes in there.
Yes.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, either way.
Sneaky buddy, do you want to go back and see if we can ask?
Do I ever?
Yee! All right, and so Rock will sneak over and
before you go, take some of the silver.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
How much you want to give?
I don't care about money. I'm a monk. Money has nothing.
I mean, whatever it takes, just take it all. I mean, it's only 13 gold effectively.
Yeah, let's just take it all then. People's lives are worth more than 13 gold.
Yeah.
I agree. Rock is gonna peek out the door and see what she can see.
Okay. So Rock, when you peek out the door, it's actually hard to see anything beyond what is right in front of you, because what is right in front of you is a frozen goblin.
Oh.
Frozen in mid pose, looks like they're about to kick in the door, and appears totally frozen.
Like he helped us.
Yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is exciting. Can I use the frozen body to sneak over back to Chillworm's tower?
Hold it in front of you and sneak along?
No, instead of as a wall or something. I don't know. I don't want to pick them up, but
Are there any other goblins out there?
Oh.
It's hard to see. You would need to open the door to know beyond that, because this one is right in front of you. The door
right there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll open the door.
All right.
Obviously, we've been found out, or at least Chill Touch has decided that he needs popsicles for dessert. So let's take a look.
So when you open the door, you see maybe a dozen goblins that are all frozen statues now. Tiny goblins that are they're all frozen, and a couple have been shattered and broken apart. However, beyond that, you see a woman with a really big axe. She looks to be young, maybe in her late 20s. The axe is covered in blood, and she has this long brown hair that's sort of frizzy and sticking out in a bunch of different directions and stuff. Looks like it's been a while since she's had the proper time to take care of herself. With her is this tiny gnome who is disgusting. He is covered in filth and dirt, and he is brandishing a wand. And they are both standing behind this white, who has white skin, jet black hair that goes back into a mullet, and a big long sword that is being plunged through the chest of Chillworm, who is on the ground.
Oh no!
And he pulls the sword out as Chillworm lets out a final death cry, and wipes off the sword and starts walking towards the building where you are.
Oh no!
The frozen goblins that are nearby, do any of them have the bandoliers of bombs?
Yes, the one right in front of the door does.
Are they so frozen solid that I can't grab a bandolier of bombs?
Use a dagger, chip that off.
I don't know if I've got the time for that, but let's see.
All right, there's two ways we can go about this. One is you can brute strength pull it off. Two is you could try to sort of wiggle it out of the cracks. The first would be a strength athletics check. The second would be a sleight of hand check.
Let's have the rogue do a sleight of hand. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
What if we were delicate with these explosives?
No time for delicacy. All right, that's a 14.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to pull out let's see. 4 of these bombs. You're able to wiggle out a whole bandolier basically that is strapped around this frozen hobgoblin. And it looks like there are 2 different kinds. One has a little flame drawn on the package. The other has a rope drawn on it, a little rope icon.
Okay. And is there any obvious way that they're set off, or do they look like throw and impact kind of things?
Probably throw an impact.
All right.
Mm-hmm. There's no fuse or anything.
The furthest goblin towards the white, how far are they? Close? Some of the frozen goblins.
So the frozen goblins,
Yeah.
the furthest one, is probably about 20 feet away
From us? Is it towards the white?
from the
and
white.
Okay. Would they have to
yes.
walk in front of the goblins on the way to get to us?
Yes, he's gonna have to walk through these dozen goblins on the way to you.
And they already are walking towards us, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to light a torch and
Okay.
throw it at the goblins in the hopes that it will set off the bombs as they approach us.
Oh,
Rock
And
would
then
like to duck and cover.
it'll be like a chain reaction of bombs.
Yeah, Isabel's gonna everybody to the back
Yeah,
wall.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I think what I'm gonna need for this, Rudy, because you can sort of just place the torch wherever you want. So what I'm gonna do is make me an intelligence check, an intelligence arcana check to see where, if you can figure out the right way to land this. And if you're proficient with alchemist tools, I don't know if you are.
I am definitely
but if
not.
you're proficient with alchemist supplies, okay, then never mind.
I was just hoping for a simple light and throw. The old light and throw.
Yeah. I mean, there's something's gonna happen no matter what. I just want to see how
God.
effective.
A 12.
12. Okay. All right. That's pretty great.
Oh Jesus.
All right. Hang on. I'm just gonna roll some dice here.
Isabel is upending tables
Yeah.
for the refugees side.
Rock is half behind the door for cover, but also still poking her little head out because she wants to see this. This is either going to suck or be awesome, and either way she wants to see us.
Shield pointed towards the door, at least one refugee's behind it.
Okay, so you hurl this torch. People are scattering when they realize what Rain is about to do. In the thing, Rain, you hit one of these goblins dead on, sort of the center of the meat, and there are all these explosions that start happening, and you do see there's a dive to the floor where the white and the gnome and the woman all sort of dive as there's this big fiery explosion. that shakes the ground and everything in it. And you can see that when the smoke clears and everybody else is, barricading, and there's a big shake in this this little structure that you're in, and then suddenly the smoke clears, and the white is like patting out a fire on its shoulder and making its way towards you, but the woman and the gnome are both down for the count. They look like the gnome actually looks completely fried to a crisp. So let's roll initiative now.
Yeah.
Get wrecked. I always believed in you, Rudy.
That was great. So yeah, TK, what did Isabel get?
A 2.
All right, consistent. What did Rock get?
I got a 20. I finally rolled well on initiative.
I only roll well on damage.
Hey, listen, if you gotta take one, that's the one.
Yeah.
What about Torsten?
Torsten got a 19.
Nice. And Rain?
I got a 22.
Damn. All right. So Rain, you're going first now. There's flipped over tables. Things are being barricaded. You know what I mean? Like, it's chaos. So if you want to put something between you and the white, you can run out there and meet him, whatever it is.
I open the door and I start walking towards him as he's walking towards me, and I throw my sword to the ground and I take off my shirt and I go, "Let's go. Let's fight."
He raises his sword.
I yell at and I say, "Don't let him hit you. Don't let him touch you."
And says, "For Ralakai Gravemore," and starts running towards you.
Okay.
So go ahead. You can make an attack.
Yeah.
You can.
I get 2 attacks. Ooh, 11. That's not good.
That is not going to.
I'm going to use inspiration.
Okay.
Because I don't want to miss. 15. First
15,
attack. 10.
Yes,
second attack. Okay. 8 damage.
Okay. So you slash into him, and you get. Oh yeah. So you punch into him, and as you punch, you're like, "Oh man, that should leave a good mark." And then you come back and you see where you punched the flesh. Looks like maybe you only kind of punch like an amateur.
That's okay.
Yeah. It is. And it is Rock's turn.
All right. Rock is going to take to the air. She's going to fly pretty much her entire movement up because her short bow has a range of 80 feet. So she's going to basically position herself above this thing. She'll draw one of the silver arrows that she was given, silvered arrows. Nice. And I'm going to use my inspiration. I'm going to shoot this thing.
Nice. Go for it.
All right. So that is a 19.
Nice. That is awesome. That's definitely a hit.
Awesome. And because this thing is engaged, I get sneak attack. So just only 1d6, but still. So it's 9. It would be piercing damage, but I guess it's silvered piercing damage.
Yes. Yeah. And you see from your vantage point, Rain, you can see this arrow sinks right in, and the white lets out a howl of pain. And it is Torsten's turn.
All right, Torsten will kind of go to the edge of the the doorway of this building, look out, be thankful this time that Callus taught him this spell, and he will use his chill touch again against the undead. So he reaches out with the spell. Ooh, not that great. 13?
13 does not hit.
All right. And then I will kind of try to back up again into the room a bit for cover.
And the white sees the spell and sort of smiles a little bit, and then turns and Rudy tries to get you with a left hook.
Oh.
A 23.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
Okay, so you take 8 necrotic damage and make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
fist connects and it drains some of your energy.
20.
Oh,
Okay. Nice. So you can feel him try to like sap energy out of you, and luckily that does not happen. However, the white gets 2 attacks and brings a longsword across. And that's going to be a 20 to hit.
Down
dirty
goes
20.
Rain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as the longsword slashes across, down goes Rain. And this guy then stalks right over to Torsten. This is going on. And it is Isabel's turn.
Help.
Sorry, I'm like frantically writing notes at the same time, and I'm like, ah! I heard Rain goes down, and I was like, ah! Like spiritually, not on my face, but it's a hard time, fam. Not doing great. So he's undead. Like, her longsword's not gonna do anything. I do have a light crossbow. I lied earlier.
Nice.
I was like, oh god. Yeah, so I do have a light crossbow. So that is what she will use to kind of shoot around the corner from where she is. She'll just lay her longsword against one of the tables she was barricading behind and kind of shoot around the corner of the door while telling the and you said this is the only door out of here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's no windows or anything?
No, not in this little structure.
She's just gonna tell them to hide in the back, hide behind the tables, get low, and shoot around the corner.
And they're already doing it. Like, you turn around to say it, and they're like, "Oh my god, we're like, there was just an explosion."
Yeah. If you don't, you will die. Like, you'll just die. We're all gonna die. Yeah, she'll just tell them get low. Oh god. Oh. Thank goodness. Because I only have like a +2 for my ranged weapon. So I have a 19 to hit.
Nice. That hits.
Yes. I was like, oh god, please. Where's my D8? Here it is. Oh, that's fine. That's okay. It's gonna be 4. 4 damage.
Yeah, and you see, because you're not using silvered bolts, right?
Yeah, no.
So yeah, your bolt goes in, but it sort of stops short and then falls out.
Yeah.
And we are back to Rain's turn. Rain, make me a death saving throw, and then Rock.
Death saving throw. Haven't had.
That's just a straight D20.
Okay. Sorry. 11. So
Okay. You move
life.
1 step closer to life, and it is Rock's turn.
So this wraith has run up and is next to Torsten?
Yeah.
The white is next to
The
Torsten.
white. Sorry, the right. Okay, I'm gonna fly down and land next to Rain, and then pull out another silvered arrow and try to shoot this white.
Go for it.
18?
That hits.
All right.
Wizard is granting that old sneak attack too.
Sneak attack.
Can we say things on other people's turns?
Definitely.
Isabel will like poke her head out around the corner and remind Rock that she's carrying all that silver.
That's true. I also have all the silver. I have all these silvered arrows.
It's true.
And I have a health potion.
Yeah.
So she's right now like very conflicted, but
because
like,
she definitely has like all those silver coins and 4 of those explosive bags.
Yeah, the explosive bags though, I don't know how big of a thing the problem that'll be. So right now she's gonna stick with the silvered arrows, but yeah. So with sneak attack, 5, 6, 8. That's 11 silvered piercing damage.
Where does your arrow land here?
Well, so if this white has kind of ran up to Torsten, and so I'm probably like back of the head again. Just, it looks like some kind of bipedal creature, so she's just gonna keep going for the weak spots, back of the head, that kind of thing.
So Torsten, the white is closing in on you, and its mouth is open in a snarl, and suddenly this crossbow bolt comes flying out of its mouth.
Short bow.
I'm sorry. Yes, short bow arrow comes flying out of its mouth and sticks next to you, like in the wall next to you,
Nice.
right over your shoulder. And then the white falls to its knees, lets out this cry, and this black cloud of like necrotic energy comes out of its mouth. And then it falls and sort of melts into a puddle of ichor at the on the ground, leaving its equipment behind. And that is where we will end today's session.
Can I do one last thing before we
Please.
run? Because seeing that the next thing that Rock would have done would be to grab the health potion on her belt and shove it into Rain's mouth.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
Uncorked.
No, first corked because she's just like, oh, and I have to, and she would shove it in his mouth, and there'd be a moment, and then she's like, oh yes, not the foot.
That would be so funny.
That she totally does that, like corked, and then have to.
I love it.
Nice.
I get all my health back.
So-
9. Nice.
Excellent. So, Rain, you have come back, and we will talk more about the sort of what happens and how it goes next week. But you are all level 2 now.
Hooray!
Hey! Do we need a short rest in order for that to happen for you, or does that just happen?
You'll probably have the opportunity to
Or a long rest.
Next section. We are going to pick up at the same pace, but unless you're going to go start punching prisoners, I think we'll be all right for now.
Level 2, yay!
But so there's one thing we need to resolve. There was a natural 20 rolled. We are giving away a copy of this.
Yes. So one more time, type !James in chat right now, and you'll be
go ahead.
entered.
Yeah, if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and do it! !James to win a copy of the Demonplague. Enter for a chance to. I should probably put
copy.
words in.
How many pages is that, James?
Like over 350. It's close to 400.
Wow.
So, yes.
Bang for your buck.
So we will PM you on Twitch. But Rudy, should we announce it? Or
Sure.
winner?
I'm rolling it. Here we go. Rolling it. The winner is El Warius. Congratulations.
Woo! So thank you so much, Elwarius, and everybody else. There's going to be many more chances for this, so join us next week. But before we go, and also, if you like this show, hit subscribe on the channel.
Or follow.
Hit follow.
Subscribe is nice too, but follow. Please, be sure to follow us on Twitch.
Yeah. Be sure to follow us on Twitch. That would be amazing. And before we go, let's say, where can people find people? And let's start with you, TK. I won't forget you.
Oh, I thought that you saw me typing up notes and you were like, I know how to get them.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna get 'em.
Never.
It's me, it's TK. I write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories and not paying for spooky stories right now, you can go to tkjwrites.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. When I'm not here, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm on the WebDM Twitch channel playing Invisible Sun or Land Between Two Rivers. And on Sundays, I am on the D&D Twitch channel playing Hell's Bells. Tomorrow, I will be on Scraticus's channel with one of his one-shot Wednesdays, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be playing a dwarf cleric, so
Nice.
RIP my party because I never play clerics.
That's awesome. And where can people find you, Robert?
You can find me probably easiest on Twitter at Radu76, or you can go check out the athos.org website and get me there at radu@athos.org.
Excellent. And what about you, Lauren? Where can people find you?
Hi, the easiest way to find me is on Twitter at OboCrazy. You can also find me on the D&D channel, the D&D Twitch channel on Wednesdays as the DM for Clerical Error. Although this week we are just doing a video on demand, and I'll be in the chat because we had a bunch of people who had to be doing work things. So Wednesdays, 2 to 4 on the D&D channel. You can also find me as the DM for Dungeon Drunks, which is a podcast that you can find wherever fine podcasts are sold, or at Dungeon Drunks. I am also the community manager manager for D&D Beyond, and so now everybody must sing the theme song.
And where can people find you, Rudy?
Hey, I'm on Twitter at Rudy Basso. Of course, don't split the podcastnetwork.com for a wonderful suite of podcasts, including mine, Have Spellbook Will Travel, which is a audio drama based on the Dungeons and Dragons games that you and I played, James. So it's fully scripted, got actors, good times. Ending soon. Be sure to check it out. Also, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we will be playing Star Wars Edge of Empire on this very Twitch channel. James, you'll be there, right?
I will be there.
Right, James will be there. I DM that. It's a lot of fun. Very scum and villainy-esque. Not, no rebels here. No thank you. That's what they say. That's about it.
Yeah. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter at James Introcaso. I'm also at Don't Split the Podcast Network .com with all of the things Rudy said. I have a podcast there too called Tabletop Babble, where I interview fine folks like the 4 people we all see here, and talk about fun RPG stuff. We do advice, we do news, whatever we want to talk about, basically. And I have a blog, worldbuilderblog.com, where you can check out all of my latest game design stuff that's going on there. So that's what we have going on here. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Again, hit that follow button if you like us, and we'll be in touch with our winner, awards.
Messaging him now.
Excellent. So thank you so much, and have a good night. Don't let the demons bite.
Bye.
Bye.